Slavoj Zizek, The Sublime Object of Ideology. In The Sublime Object of Ideology, Slavoj Žižek takes readers on a thought-provoking journey through the hidden structures of our everyday beliefs and assumptions. Set against the backdrop of a world on the cusp of ideological transformation, Žižek challenges the notion that ideology has faded, arguing instead that it discreetly permeates our realities. Drawing on post-structuralist philosophy and Lacanian psychoanalysis, he unfolds a complex tapestry of ideas where language, the unconscious, and societal norms intertwine. This summary delves into these foundational theories, revealing how ideology subtly influences everything from our personal desires to the larger cultural narratives that drive us. Prepare to explore how your own ideals might be interconnected in unexpected ways, as we unpack Žižek's examination of the symbolic, imaginary, and real aspects of experience that shape both individual perceptions and collective ideologies.
Unseen ideologies. Picture yourself in 1989, a pivotal year marked by the fall of the Berlin Wall, signaling what many thought was the definitive victory of capitalism and an end to ideological struggles. But one philosopher, Slavoj Žižek, questions whether ideology truly vanished with the fall. He suggests that instead of disappearing, ideology remains intact, intricately woven into the routines and perceptions of our everyday lives, cleverly camouflaged. To grasp Žižek's bold insights, venture into the world of post-structuralism. For centuries, from Aristotle to Wittgenstein, philosophers endeavored to fix meanings within language, using precise definitions to capture reality. However, late 20th century philosophies propose a shift. Language is now seen as a fluid network where meaning is ever elusive, constantly in motion. Applying this lens to reality, things seem less stable. Enter Jacques Lacan, a French psychoanalyst who turned preconceived ideas about the unconscious on their head. Unlike Freud, who depicted the unconscious as dark, instinct-driven, Lacan likens it to language, a structured yet enigmatic system. The unconscious doesn't communicate with words but operates through patterns of meaning. Conceived as a web of symbols and connections, it underscores how interconnected ideas shape our desires and actions, often unbeknownst to us. Why do certain patterns captivate us? Lacan might say they are expressions from the language of our unconscious, reflecting deeper, undiscovered desires or inner conflicts. This novel interpretation enriches our understanding of human behavior and culture. It posits that our deepest thoughts and aspirations are not merely private quirks but are sculpted by the broader symbolic frameworks we inhabit, encompassing language and cultural narratives. Žižek, with a magician's flair, applies these intellectually rich concepts to areas as varied as politics and popular culture. The romantic comedy you adore. It subtly enforces specific ideas about society and relationships. Your irresistible urge for the newest gadget. It fits within a larger narrative of consumerism and capitalism. So what is ideology today, in this post-Cold War era? Think of ideology as an invisible pair of spectacles you wear constantly. These lenses color your vision, subtly influencing your perceptions and actions, not just in what you think, but in how you think. Even if you've never opened Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice or watched its many adaptations, you likely know the story's familiar arcs. That's ideology, ingrained and guiding, not overt but omnipresent, shaping the landscapes of our minds and societies in ways both profound and stealthy. Ideologies woven dance. In the timeless tale of Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice, audiences are drawn not merely by romance but by the intricate dance of love and social status. This enchanting narrative offers more than a simple love story, it's an elaborate tapestry of social norms, class dynamics, and personal desires that shape every action and decision. Here lies the genius of Austen. She masterfully illustrates the invisible framework of ideology, a subtle yet powerful force guiding how we perceive the world. Ideology is like the unspoken grammar of society, shaping daily interactions, much like choosing an outfit is influenced by societal norms, what's in vogue or how it reflects one's identity. Yet, ideology is not merely a constraint, it also brings pleasure, or as Lacan puts it, jouissance. The satisfaction of aligning with or defying societal expectations mirrors the joy of discovering the perfect narrative of love, status, and fulfillment. This mirrors the concept of the object petita, the tantalizing ideal that fuels our drive. In Austen's story, it's a perfect union that propels the plot forward. In our lives, it could be the quest for an ideal job, relationship, or possession. These are the objects of desire in our consumer-driven world, seemingly promising fulfillment yet remaining perpetually unattainable. This perpetual chase for the ever-elusive goal, be it a promotion, new gadget, or bigger home, underscores the nature of ideological desires. The object of desire never quite satisfies, continually morphing as if a mirage. This relentless pursuit leads us toward the concept of the sublime object of ideology, the magnetic kernel of our desires and social structures. It's an intangible force that shapes our choices, a promise of fulfillment always just beyond our grasp. This keeps the ideological engine running, whether in the pages of Austen's novels or the tapestry of our everyday lives, holding us captive to the notion of a perfect resolution that remains eternally out of reach. Understanding reality's layers. Our unconscious desires often steer our choices and beliefs, prompting a deeper look at how we grasp reality. Lacan introduces a triadic structure of reality consisting of the real, the imaginary, and the symbolic. Imagine these as the three legs of a stool, only when all three are intact does it provide steadfast support. The symbolic order embodies the rules of the game, our cultural languages, symbols, and social norms that facilitate world navigation. This is where we trade money for goods or interpret the written word, we're engaging with the symbolic realm. It includes the language system that turns abstract sounds and shapes into communicable ideas. Meanwhile, the imaginary order acts like a funhouse mirror reflecting your psyche. It's not limited to the ideal selves flaunted on social media but spans all facets of identity construction and perception, rooted in Freud's mirror stage. Here, infants first recognize their reflections, knitting together a cohesive self-image. This realm is our narrative weaver, filling in experience gaps with assumptions and fantasies. Culturally, the imaginary pervades, from the retouched images influencing beauty ideals and curated Instagram feeds to political soundbites simplifying complex realities. Zizek notes how films and TV often inhabit this space, crafting imagined scenarios that shape our life expectations. Finally, the real order. It is the raw essence of experience, defying symbolization and escaping permanent capture by language or imagination. This dimension surfaces in times of trauma or intense, universe-expanding experiences that defy comprehension. Such moments reveal the profound, untouched reality that humans grapple with, trauma, illness, or natural calamities. These encounters with the real remind us of a persistent gap in our understanding, a piece of reality forever eluding our grasp. Acknowledging the real helps us understand there will always be elements outside our comprehension, moments when gazing at a starry sky invokes awe and the sublime. This insight compels us to accept our limits in perceiving the full complexity of existence, revealing an inherent gap in our experiential reality. Mind's hidden messages. Imagine you're a detective diving into the mystery of your own mind, noticing peculiar habits that seem more than just random quirks. These habits, termed symptoms in Zizek's philosophy, serve as vital clues. Rather than simply being signs of disorder, symptoms are a bridge between your conscious desires and unconscious struggles, much like a release valve for your psyche. They provide both problems and solutions as you navigate life's contradictions, similar to how Homer Simpson finds solace in beer. Interestingly, these symptoms derive meaning retroactively. Just as Marty McFly's adventures in Back to the Future shape the future he returns to, your symptoms actively influence your interpretation of past experiences. The intrigue deepens when considering symptoms on a societal scale. They expose ideological contradictions, such as a culture promoting environmental care while glorifying consumerism, or advocating personal advancement but imposing disproportionate taxes on lower incomes. This ideological dissonance manifests as a societal symptom. Enter the realm of ideological jouissance, the mixed emotions, both pleasure and guilt, we derive from our beliefs when they clash with reality. Consider the thrill yet guilt of buying a new gadget despite environmental impacts. Understanding these concepts, including ideological jouissance, equips us to discern patterns in the world's fabric. Key ideas, akin to anchors, shape our belief systems, a process Zizek refers to as ideological quilting. By piecing together these insights, we begin to see how personal and societal symptoms intertwine, revealing a cohesive tapestry that both challenges and informs our understanding of reality. Ideological quilts. Picture the intricate process of quilting. Individual layers like the patchwork top, the padding, and the backing remain fluid and separate until stitches bring them into a cohesive masterpiece. Slavoj Žižek uses this vivid metaphor to illustrate how people and societies weave meaning into their cultural and ideological tapestries. In this imaginative framework, key ideas serve as anchor points, akin to stitches, that hold together the vast tapestry of perceptions and beliefs. These crucial stitches are what Lacan described as quilting points, points de capitans, the concepts that bring stability to our societal viewpoints. Consider how the notion of freedom operates within American culture. It isn't merely a concept, it's a pivotal quilting point that interlaces diverse themes such as individual rights, economic policies, and national identity. It's the thread crafting the American dream into a specific and recognizable design. However, a twist reveals itself: quilting points aren't steadfast or eternal. They're more like temporary knots in the fabric of our understanding, susceptible to coming undone. What appears to be an immutable truth today might unravel tomorrow, much like the epoch when humankind believed the sun orbited the earth, a now discredited quilting point in our comprehension of the cosmos. This weaving process isn't solely about concepts. It's deeply intertwined with desire and pleasure. Each ideological stitch promises satisfaction, creating a semblance of understanding in a world that often appears baffling. It's that exhilarating moment of supposed clarity, the pleasure ideology offers, always suggesting the completion of one belief only opens up the quest for another. Thus, the cycle continues, each quilting point births new gaps to fill, perpetual and unending. Grasping this quilting phenomenon provides fresh insight into how societies construct and sustain their belief systems. Reflect upon the quilting points anchoring your personal outlook. What central ideas are stitching your beliefs together? How might you weave these threads differently? Recognizing the nature of ideological quilting offers the chance to unravel and reassemble the stitches of your worldview, possibly crafting them in more aware and intentional patterns. This understanding invites you to become the master stitcher of your own perspective, encouraging a conscious re-examination and transformation of the ideological quilt that defines your reality.
Slavoj Zizek's The Sublime Object of Ideology invites us to reconsider the unseen forces shaping our worldviews. Throughout the book, Zizek skillfully illustrates how ideology continues to influence our perceptions, desires, and actions by examining the interplay between the symbolic, imaginary, and real elements of reality. By highlighting how ideological structures are intricately woven into cultural phenomena, from media and literature to personal choices and societal norms, he sheds light on the unseen glasses through which we view life. The concept of quilted meaning ties it all together, suggesting the potential for change by unraveling and restructuring these ideological threads. As readers reach the end of this summary, they are encouraged to reflect on their own beliefs and ideologies, finding new awareness in the process of untangling and restitching the fabric of their understanding in more conscious and fulfilling ways.